Hey, what's up, Himba? How you doing? Ready for another day? What's up? Good looking. How you doing? Yeah, I'm just like, had my coffee, getting ready for some more drawing. Today, I want to do some studies in figure drawing to get like skeletal structure of like understanding the joints in like humanoid figures. So we're going to do a bunch of different exercise with connecting like the head to the neck to the shoulder joints to the elbow to the wrists and to like, you know, to the hips and to the knees, and to the feet joints. We're gonna do exercises. I'm gonna try to kind of like try to change the positions of the joints, like, you know, like doing different. Basically, I'm just drawing like little stick figures. We're gonna be doing those kind of studies for a bit. I think first we're gonna just do some like warm-ups, do some circles, do some lines, and then we're gonna do those figure exercises, and then we're gonna move on to a free drawing session. Just relaxing and drawing. I want to try to put more, you know, like even if I'm only doing it for a few minutes, I want to integrate these kind of studies into my daily drawing sessions. Even if I only do like a few minutes, like if I'm going to be drawing for like 2 hours, like let's say, at least put in like 5 minutes of like exercises, you know, like there's no reason to skip them. Like I need to like kind of have that kind of discipline of putting in those exercises. Even if it's only for a few minutes. Or we might spend a few hours on it. Who knows? You're doing really good? I look great. I look like I just got out of bed. I'm wearing my tattered shirt. You can see my belly. I'm a fraud. I never actually ran this relay for life. I found this shirt on the street. I'm a fraud. A liar. I lied. I didn't actually do this 2013 run. I did tie-dye it though. Maybe if I tuck it into my sports bra. Yeah, there we go. Now I kind of fixed it. kind of fix it there. There we go. I gotta get my artist appearance. I gotta look like an artist. Can you tell I'm an actress? I'm like more focused on trying to look, trying harder to like play the part. Those are the real trophies? Yeah, you gotta earn those shirts. I didn't. I found it on the ground. I'm a fraud. Yeah, reporting me to the local authorities. Down bad? Izzy Customs, what's up? You down bad? Are we watching Tales from the Street? I have no idea. That's not what we're watching. Oh. Okay. Okay, we need to get our desk cam situated for drawing. Oh. We got Streets of Rage. Let's go. Okay, that's good enough. Okay. Okay, we're gonna switch lights. Okay. Greetings, what's up, Majestic? I'm just trying to get the lighting. Okay. Pencil or ballpoint today? Let's do some pencil. Got an idea? What's your idea, Majestic? Mr. Krabs, I have an idea. Okay. Dragon egg? Okay. First of all, make a containing border. Kind of an egg already. A cunty vampire queen? You mean myself? What did she call herself? Draw the Mona Lisa? The Sistine Chapel? You guys can't see anything. What's with the lighting today? Why is there all this shadow? Usually not there. Oh, it's because of this thing. Okay. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I put the pencils there. Yeah, just the tip. Yeah, this is the Sistine Chapel, alright. This is the exact replica. Here we go. Now give it some Super Saiyan spikes. And we got our Sistine Chapel thing. Perfect replica. Perfect. Exact replica. Absolutely. We got an exact replica. Let's go. I am artist. Okay. Now that we're done being an artist, wait, what is that shadow? Is it still this? No? Oh, is it this? Yep, it's this. Okay, yeah, we gotta change that a little bit. Okay, let's do. Now that showed me that I have some weak spots. Okay. Yeah, so basically, got a head, got a neck. Shoulders. There's that first part of the arm, elbow, forearm, wrist. So we have the spine here. We got hip joints. We got knee. And we got feet. Now let's try to do the same exact thing, but lift this arm up this way. Okay, so try to like this person, he's like kind of dancing. Maybe do some foreshortening here, whatever. Yeah, trying to move the human body in 3D space. How about we put this arm up? Oh, no, it's... Yeah, we're going up. Like, hey, is what he's doing over there. I thought you couldn't draw. Well, we're working on it. We're trying to improve, and then we're gonna keep this other one kind of still neutral. So then we have that rib cage. We got the hips. How about, like, now let's try maybe kind of like a more, like, kind of like some kind of yoga pose thing. So let's start with the pelvis. Doing like some kind of Pilates thing. That Pokemon music? I have no idea. I think it's Final Fantasy 4. Yeah, the physics of this one is way messed up compared to this one. I think I got the right idea. Where does the hand go? I mean, I'm mostly just trying to work with the joints here. We're not even beginning to work on the hand. Are you a transformer? I turn into a canoe. When there's a gentle stream of water, you're gonna be sorry you told me off. Have you done any animation? No, I'm barely understanding how to draw. Okay, let's try to do it. Let's do it like more in miniature here. Hey, thanks for all the likes in chat. Slipping and sliding, helicopter. You spin my world right round, like a record, baby. You spin me round, round. I don't have one of those. A giraffe! It's a giraffe! It's a giraffe! Okay, like, let's try sitting. Messed up on the foreshortening there, but whatever. I guess that's more of a female body. I was trying to make a male body, but now it's like more of a female contour here. Puppet Master? dead pose. It was supposed to be like a one-handed like Pilates like plank or something. It's like wait, why did I put 3 joints? Like, why are there 4 joints? It's supposed to be the knee, and then that's supposed to be the leg. But what is this? Why got an extra joint in the legs? What is going on? He's got an extra joint on his legs. Or those some really goddamn big feet. I drew too many joints. The hip joint, first of all, the hip joint probably over here. It's supposed to be the knee joint. These need to just be deleted. Oh, oops. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. And maybe this one needs to go out here first. And then like that. That's a little bit more realistic, even though it's still not quite where it needs to be. Plus, I think I made the torso too big. Here. These need to go. But yeah, all this is way too big of a torso. Help that guy. We're gonna help him, okay? We gotta help him. He's not physically correct. Here, and then we gotta have like a... You gotta give him a cowboy hat. And he's got a Coca-Cola. There we go. Now we helped him. He's got a Coca-Cola. The straw. A crazy straw. I'm gonna give him a plane to sit on. There we go. Now he's doing a plank while drinking some soda. This is kind of like not what I wanted. I put her on her knees here with the feet going back. I didn't do the proper perspective to do like a lotus sitting position, which is what I was trying to do, but now it looks more like on your knees with the like calves going backwards is what this looks like. And we got some Morrowind. Oh shit, it's raining outside. Well, I mean, this is a good exercise. I gotta start every session off doing something like this. We could do more, but let's move on to like circles. Let's try to do them a little bit differently each time. Instead of just, usually what I do is do that circular motion. But how about if we just try to construct it? And just refine it? Make it a little bit more lumpy. Cubed and crazy. The girl on the right on her knees crying for the guy on the left. Exactly. That's what it's going on in Marshallville. It just became a crime scene. Yeah, he's drinking some Coca-Cola, doing some planks. He's trying. Huh? Do some wireframes. Hi, what's up, Casey? How are you doing? Are you on the case? Trying to understand how the sphere works in different angles in three-dimensional space. Possibly with like twists and stuff. So like, let's try doing a twist. Yeah, I don't know. How about this one? Like a Pokeball. Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, now let's... about yeah, doing this little pins and needles kind of thing. Trying to find the three-dimensional space. Angle, how does is it just like a shorter? The closer you get towards the center, the more of a straight line it becomes. But, oh wait. The straight up center is going to just be a dot. Hi, what's up, Serby? Never expected to see you on YouTube Live. You were with me in middle school? Sergio? I'm sorry, I don't remember you. I'm wearing, like, absolute garbage right now, but, hey, how you doing? I, changed my name. I changed a few things. Oh. Yeah, I changed a few things. Yeah, a few things were changed. I mean, I changed an Audi into an innie. But what's up, Sergio? How you doing? You knew me from the dark ages? Or you're just trolling and you're just copy pasting that and going to every YouTube live and saying that. Started painting beautiful landscapes and now I'm moving across the country. I don't think it's a coincidence. Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly doing this for personal discovery reasons. I'm just trying to develop a skill that I never thought was possible, and also just keeping myself emotionally regulated through a really frustrating part of my life. Like, I did all my surgeries and now I'm just waiting on these housing resources. I got on wait lists and people are looking for a mentor home situation for me. These are just some exercises, basically working with spheres, trying to find, like, if you make the center is just going to be like a dot and you're making these little, trying to go out in three-dimensional space. Like, as you go more to the edge, it becomes more horizontal, or like trying to get like the center, and then like it's almost like it becomes like completely horizontal. It's basically like, because there's like a line like this. And it's like... Section 8? Yeah, I'm on Section 8 housing. But that's a really long wait list. I'm on different low-income housing wait lists, but I'm also in an FHA now as of December. And they're looking for a specific kind of transitional housing, like a mentor home, which is like basically a room for rent, but with an approved landlord. I think Sergio was trolling. I don't think I actually went to middle school with him. I think that was a troll. Those were some really dark times, though. I try not to think about it too much. I made a lot of changes. I'm a completely different person. I also identified as male back then. And like I got like hormone therapy and like surgeries these past 6 years. So things are very different now. Like significantly different. I did a lot of personal work as well during all that. Yeah, it's hard for me to see like the three-dimensional curve across a sphere when doing these little three-dimensional little pins. Because it's like I do like another pin over here. How am I supposed to indicate that it's going up? Like, because if I just go straight up, like that's what that one's doing. This one, do I just do it the same way? Oh, I guess also the circle changes. Yeah, I don't know. I think we did enough, now let's just do some lines. I can do that on the same page. Yeah, I don't know. Should probably get a fresh page for that. Plus I should probably use the cheaper paper for that. Honestly, I'm using the cream colored paper. That's supposed to be for like drawing. Use the standard white printer paper, okay? Okay, let's just... different lengths of wires. Different angles. Okay, going from right to left is a little harder. Lines. Let's do some lines. Some, you know, Brazilian snow cones. Let's go. Yeah, some Colombian dipping sauce. Let's go. American cornflakes. What? Make a wobbly line? Do some foreshortening. Doing it from different angles, like that's a little bit like, yeah, normally my easiest is like this. So I can just, if I need to do different angles, I could always just move the page. Because it's kind of like the same exact motion, like just holding the pencil like this. What's up, the sandwich? You like where this is going, Batliv? You want to use a Batliv? Yeah, I guess we're transitioning into free drawing now. I did some lines, and now we're just gonna. I kind of get carried away a little bit. Like I do some lines, and then suddenly stuff starts to form, and then I start to. I get a little carried away, and I start filling in the finer details. Sorry about that, chat. You know, just like we started with like, you know, some standard exercises, and it turned into art. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me, chat. We were supposed to be doing some by the books exercises, and it turned into something. And I started at, you know, one line led to another, and now we got something happening. I'm sorry. I really apologize, chat. We got some Donkey Kong Country. Let's go. Yeah, I don't think Sergio actually knew me in middle school. I'm gonna just like go out on a limb here and think that was a troll. Because he disappeared. Yeah, I'm like trying to think of like anatomy, not just in humans. It's kind of what I've been experimenting lately. thinking about like flexor joints, but in like non-humanoid structures. Like thinking about structures with its own torso, with its own kind of joint structure. And I'm just kind of experimenting with where that leads with my understanding of inorganic textures, like, and structures. You guess a disorder? It's a disorder? I don't know what you're talking about. You guess what's a disorder? Being an artist? Oh, you mean being a troll? Yeah, I don't know if Sergio actually knew me in middle school. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Oh, high sensitivity? You mean a Karen? Karen is not the same. Oh, you mean like people with hypersensitivity disorder? Like, and obviously there's names for everything. You know, here's what people get wrong. Like, a lot of people seem to think that medicine and psychology and all that kind of stuff, that the DSM-5 is like the end-all be-all. But you have to understand that the DSM, its entire existence, is only so that we can label things and classify things with some level of degree of accuracy so that they can prescribe treatments. That's the only reason. And people kind of have like this misunderstanding that like you have some kind of diagnosis, it means something's wrong with you. And it's like, well, you have a condition, but you know, if you had, you know, strep throat or something and there was a medication to take it, then how does that make you somehow bad or broken? It just means you're sick. But for some reason, society kind of stigmatizes psychological or mental disorders as somehow you should be above it, that there's something permanently wrong with you. And I don't like this idea of permanence. Like, if you have diarrhea, does that mean you're permanently a pooper? Like, no, it just means you poop for the short term until the diarrhea goes away. And, you know, if you have chronic diarrhea, then that's like a condition. There might be a medication for it, there might not. But you can do something to not make it your entire life. And I think getting treatment should not be seen as some shame or something that's permanently wrong with you. Psychology can't cure you. High sensitivity is hard. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't have high sensitivity disorder or whatever it's called. I have autism spectrum disorder. I have major depressive disorder. I have general anxiety disorder. I have apparently bipolar disorder. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I have agoraphobia, which is related to that. And it's all kind of stemming from environmental factors over time. But also some things I literally can't change. I can't stop being autistic. So everything's kind of like connected. Like, it's not isolation. You're not just autistic. Like, you're you, and you're in an environment, and you react to the environment, and it's almost like a random, like, RNG. Like, everyone just kind of has, like, we're kind of born not even the same at all. Like, people have genetic differences, but we're relatively all the same when we're born. But, like, our environment and the way we respond to things, that changes, like, little teeny tiny variables throughout the course of our life. And it makes us into who we are. And, you know, just like, I think, like, just because you have a disorder doesn't mean that's all you are. You know, I'm not like just autistic. I'm not just like an autistic lady who, you know, I'm not just a transgender woman. Like, I'm not just like somebody who suffered from gender dysphoria. You know, like, if I was like, you know, in a wheelchair, I'm not someone in a wheelchair. You know, like, I'm an individual and I have my own life, and just because I have a disability, it doesn't like mean that that's gonna be my life forever, and that somehow makes me less than other people. It just makes me different. And I feel like people have this really harsh judgment of people who are different, and it's like, there's really no reason for it. Like, why is there no reason why people can't treat me with love and kindness, like, instead of harshness? There's really no reason. It sounds like a choice. Like people are choosing to treat me with a higher standard than how they would treat themselves or treat other people, because they see me as disabled. They see me as somebody that she has something wrong with her. Or some people don't even recognize that I'm female because they're weird. Some people are just weird, and instead of like, they're just like forcing their own vision of reality on people. And it's like, dude, you could just choose not to have that vision of reality. You know that? Like, they could just choose to not be an asshole. They could just choose to be a kind human being who sees the nuance in people, but instead they don't. Instead, they choose to see everything as black and white. They choose to see people as, you're permanently the thing I diagnosed you with. I diagnosed you as a loser, and so that means you're always a loser. It's so black and white, and it's so permanent. Human beings are complex, and we change all the time. Like, we're not set in stone. For some reason, people think that, oh, you're diagnosed with, like, someone with schizophrenia, for example. Someone's diagnosed with schizophrenia, people treat them like they're crazy people. And it's like, you can choose how to treat people. They can't choose to be schizophrenic or not. They can, you know, seek treatment. But it sounds like a choice when you choose to treat people like they're less than human. That sounds like a complete choice. So it's like, it's not a choice that I'm autistic, but it is a choice for people to think that I'm, you know, something wrong with me, or it's a choice for them to think that I'm, you know, broken, or that I'm weird, or that I shouldn't have the same kind of love as anybody else. But those people exist, and they're not going anywhere, unfortunately. So I just kind of have to deal with it. It wasn't until I actually started getting help. But by then I was already 31, and now it's been like 7 years, or 6.5 years basically, since I started treatment, since I started therapy, got my diagnosis of like all my diagnoses, and it was like a requirement for transitioning that I got help, obviously, because I needed help. I couldn't have done it alone, and I needed like doctor's approval, which means I had to work on myself. There was no choice. And so because of that, you know, obviously I'm doing better now, but some people are convinced that I'm not. And those people are just, I don't even know if they're even worth thinking about. They're They're the kind of people who think that there's like, oh, I'm delusional and I only think I'm doing better. It's like, well, how would you know? You're not living my life. It just doesn't make sense. They see external things as somehow indicators of somebody's internal life. They have these assumptions. They think trans people are just permanently mentally disabled or, you know, mentally ill. Like, well, if we're mentally ill, think about how mentally ill those people are. Like, if we're mentally ill, that means everybody's mentally ill. So, if everybody's mentally ill, then is really anybody any different? I think the difference is I did something about it and I feel happier and healthier. That person, those kind of people, they don't seem very happy. They don't seem very healthy. They're actively harming people in some cases. In some cases, they may not be aware of it, but they are. They convince themselves that they're just freedom of speech or whatever, and it's like, if you fart in an elevator, someone's going to smell it. You could say it's freedom of speech, but people are going to still smell your fart. So, I don't like that argument of like, oh, it's free speech, free speech. Like, so? Nobody's arguing that you can't say it. We're arguing that you're saying it. Like, I don't know why people are so obsessed with, they think people are trying to infringe on their freedom of speech. It's like, no, they're trying to tell you that you're an asshole. Like you fart in an elevator and then you complain that people are mad at you for farting in an elevator. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Unfortunately, people like that exist. There's always going to be people who just want to cause problems. And I can't do anything about that. I can just live my life. And that's what I'm going to do. Hey, what's up, Kuro? Kuro dandelion? Dandelion. Dandelion. It's not a dandelion, it's a dandelion. What are you drawing? I don't really know. It seems like a broken landscape of some sort, like some, almost like there's some fractures in the distance. Some kind of fracture. And then it leads into like a broken, dry, desert of some sort. I don't know. It's kind of what I'm thinking as I'm building it, but I don't know if the effect is pulling off, but I'm mostly just freeform drawing, just seeing where it goes. We already did some exercises earlier. I started off with, somebody asked me to draw the Sistine Chapel, and so I made a perfect rendering of that. And then I did some figure drawing, just trying to understand joints and stuff. And then I did some circles and vertices or stuff like that. Then we did some lines with some foreshortening and all sorts of stuff like that. And now we're just trying to kind of freeform drawing and just kind of improvising, seeing what happens. And then I'm going to end the stream. And we're just chatting about stuff. I was chatting about mental health a bit. And stigma. And like how people, they see someone like me with all these, a lot of mental illnesses. And I'm trying to get better. Like, I'm healing. I'm seeing doctors, but people see that as somehow a permanent character flaw. And of course, those people are always going to exist, and they're going to show up in my comments. They're going to call me mentally ill. They're going to say I'm a creature, all sorts of weird things. And it's like, hey, like, what do you want from me? Like, I'm trying my best to do better. Would you prefer I just give up? Like, I'm doing something about it. I'm trying to get help. They don't want that. They don't want me to get help. What they want is me to conform to their version of what I should be, which I can never do, which nobody can ever do. It's very unreasonable. These people are very unreasonable people. They want me to just change who I am entirely to fit their narrative of what I should be. They don't think I should be trans. They don't think I should have gotten the surgeries. Well, I can't change that. I don't want to change that. I went through the surgeries. You're basically permanently deciding who I am as a person based on your own prejudice. It's really unintelligent. It's very unflexible. Like, it's just I can never fit your standard, and so you're just going to permanently dismiss me? Like, that's ridiculous. I can't undo my surgeries, and I wouldn't want to. I'm not going to, even if I could. I went through it for a reason. And instead of seeing the beauty that is, they choose to see it as an abomination. They choose to see it as a disgusting thing or a terrifying thing. It's a beautiful thing. Tell them to leave you alone. Well, I mean, I just ignore them because they're just, YouTube comments. They're giving me engagement, so my channel is growing, especially since I started doing these vertical lives. My channel is growing insanely. I look at the analytics and it's just going straight up. I've gotten like 300 subscribers in this past 28 days. Like 260 subscribers or something like that. I've gotten like 49,000 views as I checked yesterday. More than usual. Like, I'm doing insanely good compared to before. Now I see a growth pattern, and I'm obviously I'm not gonna celebrate too soon about it. It's not about that. It's not about the numbers. It's about the trajectory. Like, I'm doing better. Like, it might not seem like it, but numbers don't lie, They also don't fully tell the truth, but that's like the double-edged sword. It doesn't lie, but it also doesn't fully tell the truth. But it does tell me something, that what I'm doing is better than what I was doing. And it's not just over 28 days, it's over like 3 months. So I'm doing something right. I'm going to keep up these vertical live streams. I'm going to keep uploading those shorts. They're working like really well. The shorts are doing really well comparatively. There's hit and miss on some individual ones, but overall, I'm getting like tens of thousands of, I'm getting like 200 and something thousand, I think like, here, let me actually look at my analytics. Let's see. In the past, okay, like content, audience, there we go. No, not that. Friends? No, audience. Yeah, so 246 subscribers in the last 28 days. Let's look at the last 90 days. 287 subscribers. Here, I think I'm looking at the wrong tab. Content. Yeah, new viewers, regular viewers, subscribers. In the past, okay, views. In the past 90 days, shorts have given me 71.1 thousand views. Live stream, 45.5 thousand views. My typical views from shorts are about 190 to 850, kind of wide. Live stream is like 20 to 190. Okay, this is what I was looking for. Impressions. 349.8 thousand. 47.2% of that is from YouTube recommending my content. Now, here we go. I got a 2.8% click-through rate, which isn't too great. But considering I'm getting like views from like shorts and vertical life, I think that's like pretty reasonable for someone my size as a YouTuber. Views from impressions, 9.9 thousand. And then 1 minute and 35 second average view duration. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but considering absolutely like most people will only watch like a short or live for probably like less than a second. Like people are averaging 1 minute and 35 seconds per video, per short or per live stream. So my watch time from impressions is 262.66 hours. Am I a professional tennis player? No. What? That's a random question. That's completely non sequitur. Yeah, so I mean, I'm doing a lot better. Like, I see like an upward trend. Hey, what's up? Welcome back, Himba. You're still here? You're still here. Yeah, so I don't want to be an analytics Andy, but there's real progress going on in my YouTube channel. An extra 246 subscribers, and those were from live streams. It's a good stream. I'm glad you like the stream. The vertical live streaming is helping me find a lot of new viewers. I've gotten 246 new subscribers. And I'm pretty sure like 80% of those are from the vertical live stream. Because I've been live streaming for a while. Nothing else has changed. Like, my vibe hasn't really changed. I guess the vibe does change when you're chatting with people. So that helps too. Because like most of the time I'm just kind of talking to myself. And that kind of slows down the vibes. Having people in the chat interacting with me kind of changes the vibes. And interestingly, I think makes the content more easier to engage with new people, because they're like, oh, she's talking to viewers, and they're like, you know, it's a little bit easier for them to start talking, and it kind of feeds on itself. And I also think that like people are literally discovering my live and my shorts, which is creating like a feedback loop. And so I'm getting like a significant increase in subscribers. It will plateau at a certain point, but I think it's a good sign. Quiet listening while writing some contracts. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're getting work done. I'm just kind of working on some art. I'm trying to do daily daily artwork. I did some deliberate exercises with figure drawing, trying to understand joint behavior, skeletal behavior of like figure drawing physics. I did some circle exercises and some line exercises, and now I'm just kind of having fun here. Just kind of filling out the page now with whatever floats my boat. Trying to see what this is. Yeah, I'm very free thinking. I want to develop it to be more concise and less messy, but that's going to take a lot of practice over time. And I am doing deliberate exercises like earlier, so doing all those circles, doing all these are really important. Like understanding like human physics, or humanoid physics rather. This is trying to draw the Sistine Chapel because a chat member told me to draw it. I drew it from memory. I think it's pretty accurate. You tell me. Let me know in the comments if you think this is accurate. I think the most important thing I did today was this. I wanted to do something, even for a short amount of time, that would push my ability. And now I'm just kind of, it's like whenever you inhale, you exhale. And so now we're exhaling. This is like our exhale, right? This is me just kind of letting things be free and seeing where my current state of mind is, and keep seeing what my ability is, like subconsciously. Like that's really important for me. Yeah, the art is human generated. It's human generated art. I know it's not very popular nowadays. It's kind of controversial. Human generated art. Everybody, it's like, hey, why isn't that AI generated? Everybody's talking about it. I'm controversial, okay? Maybe it'll get me some clicks on YouTube. A human artist? That's unheard of. It's ruining our culture. Honestly, I think that kind of like shows us, like, I think like people are putting their too much energy into complaining about AI art. I feel like you should put that energy into your own artwork. Just focus on your own thing. Stay in your own lane. You shouldn't be worried about AI. You should be worried about, what am I going to draw today? What exercises am I going to do? What references am I going to use? Like, those are the things you should be thinking about. Don't even factor in AI at all into your workflow. Just ignore it. Like a troll. I feel like it's a real test of how true to your art you are. Because if AI makes you give up on your art, then maybe you need to do some ayahuasca. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe you need to do some soul searching. I mean, that's basically what I was just joking, but like do some soul searching. Like what does it mean to you to be an artist? And if AI threatens you and it makes you feel the negative fifis, maybe it's time to do some soul searching and find out what art means to you again. Because maybe your identity is changing as an artist, and AI threatens that. And so I feel like it's an opportunity for artists to truly find what their meaning is. That's my belief. It might be controversial, but that is my belief. People can think about it what they want. I think AI, it's opening a door for humanity, a door that we can't come back from, and it's how we go through that door that matters. Are we going to go through that door in fear and anger and violence? Free! Or are we going to Are we going to go through that door with self-examination, philosophical questioning, understanding like what makes you an artist? Is it the work you do, or is it something deeper? And I think these questions are fascinating questions that artists have been trying to answer for thousands of years. And I think AI is just, the next level of that. Like, if I'm not my work, what am I? And I think it's like, I think it'll open the door to, some people will have crippling psychosis, unfortunately, I think. But I think it'll also open the door to a more human art form. Something that we've never had access to before in the history of humankind. And I think that there's going to be people who find it and people who don't. There's going to be a lot of people who don't find it. There's going to be a lot of people searching for it, and I feel like that's what matters. It's the searching that matters. There's going to be some people who refuse to do the search and instead are going to fight back against AI. Like fighting against the flow of time. Like, you can't fight against AI. It's going to exist. If we get rid of it, somebody else is going to make it. An alien species might make it. It might make itself. Like, we can't control that. But what we can control is, what do I do about my own work? What does this mean about me? What does this change about my art? It shouldn't really change anything about your workflow. Unless you utilize AI, but not in a way to replace your artwork, but in a way to organize some of the more menial, like, thought tasks. Like, computer, organize all works of art in order of oldest to most recent that use the color red. like it could be like Star Trek, right? Like, in Star Trek, they talk about the holodeck and the computer and stuff, and they kind of see it as just an annoying tool that they have to wrestle with. And then it's the human effort that truly matters. And also, even, like, lay people will use the holodeck kind of just like automatically. They'll just be like, oh, make this program. If you look at how the engineers use the AI in Star Trek The Next Generation and such, look at how, like, people like Geordie LaForge or like B'Elanna Torres, like, look at how they utilize the AI, or Barkley. Like, look at how they utilize the holodeck. They adjust parameters on such a fine level because they know it's a tool, and that it's like, it's stupid. It's not intelligent. Well, I mean, I guess in Star Trek, there's some storylines involving intelligence, sentience, but, like the Doctor from Voyager and Moriarty, and I don't want to spoil too much, but basically, I feel like to fight against a tool is like fighting against the invention of, like, digital art. Like, there were people who fought against, like, drawing tablets and, like, Photoshop and Krita, like all these different digital art tools and digital brushes. But digital art form has unlocked art for some people that would have never been able to afford all the paints and brushes and canvases. And now people can practice with unlimited undos, which does have a side effect, but it's a different medium, and that's okay. It's okay that it's a different medium. Just like, obviously AI is going to generate, slop and stuff, and that might be fine. I don't think it should threaten you as an artist. That's my controversial opinion. Maybe I'll get canceled for that, but, maybe then I'll go viral. I don't know, but, I know it's pretty controversial of a take, but I try not to fight against the inevitability of AI. Instead, trying to throw away what I don't think is valuable and keep what I think is valuable. I think it's extremely good at organizing vast amounts of data, especially text, which means that you can organize your thoughts so that you can be less chaotic, that you can utilize more of that energy for actually doing your art. And I feel like it opens us up to a whole new, like, universe that we didn't have before. of like, hey, this tool, it can generate art, but I don't really think that's what it's for. And people are very attached to their art, and I don't blame them. I don't think it's bad for somebody to be mad that AI is, stole their artwork. I think that's terrible, but it's already been done. And I do think there should be, safeguards for creators who want to, protect their work, or even get paid for people using it as data. And opt in only. But unfortunately, that's the technology is faster than the system. Why, hello, hey Rain, hello, how are you doing? We can't go back. We just got to learn how to come to terms with how fast technology is advancing and find where we fit in, and use it, and can use it to benefit us. And I think we can use it to benefit us. And I don't think somebody should feel compelled to. I would never blame someone for refusing to work with AI at all, in any capacity. But at some point, you're going to be forced to. Like, it's just like, you could avoid the technology, but it's gonna exist in the regular world. Like, you're gonna go to like the store to buy art supplies, and there's gonna be an AI kiosk that you have to use in order to find your art supplies. Like, you're gonna have to utilize it at some point. Like, it's just a part of society now, and I think we need to learn, it's your choice whether or not you use it. And you could and I think it frees us up. I feel like there's going to be a really tumultuous time period. This is my projection of what's going to happen in humanity's future. I think there's going to be a very tumultuous period where people have no idea, like, basically an existential crisis. And chaos and abuse of the systems. But I think eventually AI is going to unlock our ability to go back to more analog things. Because imagine if you could use a typewriter and you could just have an AI, literally, like, you could just load all your papers into a bin, and it'll just scan every single page and put it into a digital format in like milliseconds. That means that you can create your workflow as a writer or as an artist to be in the way that truly works for you. If you want to use canvases and oil paints, then AI will be able to just use that in order to document your work and archive your work without having to, go above, like, it'll just be, we already have that, obviously. We have digital cameras and stuff like that. But I feel like AI is going to extremely streamline, like, archival. And so archival is going to be above and beyond what it already is. And just like automating our workflows so that we can just we can go back in time without losing the benefits of what technology gives us. When technology works with us to free us up to doing what humans do best, I think then that's when it succeeds. Because if we just have to like fandangle, if we have to like wrestle with different like computer chips, and like we have like all these phones, and we have to like connect ourselves to all these devices, I feel like that's not where we should be going. I think that's technology in its infancy. I feel like the goal is, that's what they're doing with like the smart watches and like the smart glasses. I think the end game is having a society where we don't have to look at technology at all. We don't have to have a phone. We don't have to have an iPad. We don't have to have a PC. Not unless we choose to, because that's our interface that we choose. But I feel like if you wanted to live in a cabin in the woods and chop wood every day, and like have like an analog lifestyle, reading books that are physically printed out, and technology advanced to a way, like, imagine if we had like, it goes back to Star Trek. Yeah, my favorite Pokemon is Bulbasaur. We drew Bulbasaur yesterday a bit. I drew some from a reference, a few of them. and I tried, at least. This is what I did. This is what I did yesterday on stream. See, like what I'm doing right now, like I'm trying to utilize technology to do something analog. Like the fact that I have a camera facing down on the desk. So I'm not using a tablet. I do have a drawing tablet. It's like a cheaper one. It's like a $40 tablet or something. But it's not like a super advanced tablet. We drew this. I drew this yesterday. I'm trying to use analog mediums. I drew this off stream. I don't actually, yeah, I drew this on stream the other day before it. I started this, and then somebody asked me to draw Bulbasaur, so I drew that one, but then I drew some more here. I think this is the best one I did. There's a Bulbasaur there. There's a Bulbasaur there. You can see the like proportions are off. This one looks like he's like a gorilla, like Harambasaur. And, you know, I'm just trying to find, you know, basic like cylinders and stuff. Yeah, so I think like what I'm doing on stream right now, I think is where technology can start to get out of the way. Like imagine if I could just do a live stream with no cameras. And I could completely control like which angle it's coming from, completely control the lighting. It'll like adapt. I don't have to put like lighting in front of me. Like this lighting and stuff that I have. Imagine if cameras were so advanced and they were like completely like invisible. Like they were far, like I was in a room and like I could place the cameras so that there's like complete coverage. And I could move the cameras in editing or even have it edit it for me without even thinking about it. Like, imagine if I could just literally do this as if I was doing this off stream, but have like a high quality presentation. As if it was like professionally like set up. But it was out of the way. Like, I think that's where technology is heading. I think technology is heading to a place where it just completely gets out of our way. Like, get out of our way, let us human. I think that's where technology is going to bring us. I know it's a little bit of an optimistic view on the future, but I think it is a future worth fighting for. Where instead of technology taking over our lives, like it is kind of now, like the past like 20 years or so, technology has kind of gotten in the way. It's kind of controlled us, like social media has controlled us, devices controlled us. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a breaking point. I think AI is going to push us to that. I think there's going to be a breaking point where people are just fed up with technology. They're tired of their life being defined by some rectangle. I feel like people are going to get tired of it, and they're going to want to go back to an analog lifestyle. Like, why not live in a cabin in the woods? Why not farm? Why not why not just live a basic life that doesn't have a lot of needs? I think there's going to be a shift where there's going to be people who obviously go deeper into the technological addiction. Just like drugs, like getting more like, technological devices implanted into your body. Like there's going to be people like that, of course. It's like cyberpunk sci-fi stuff. But I think also there's going to be a counter movement of people who use technology to basically get the benefits of it without having it define your life. Like imagine if you could just take care of your life with technology without actually using it. AI talk makes me sleepy. Yeah. Booga booga. Yeah, I'm not saying regressing. It's almost like we're advancing because we have the intellect to utilize the technology without it I feel like we're ooga booga right now. But people have fooled themselves into thinking we're intelligent. But we're relying on technology like drug addicts. And I feel like when technology is working, we can basically delete it. It can run completely in the background. It can do things for us without us having to control it every second of every day. And I think that's where AI can benefit us. It can do things without us having to think about it. That's also the danger, is it can do things without us thinking about it. But I feel like when it's done right, it can do things that open us up to becoming more human. Doing things more analog. Working with human mediums. Like what I'm doing. I'm specifically drawing with pencil and paper, or ballpoint and paper, or brush and ink, like brush and ink, or brush and acrylic, or brush and oil. You know, like I'm literally like, you know, dip pen and ink, you know, like, or brush and ink. So I'm deliberately using analog mediums. There's a reason. Is because I think these are more human. And I'm capturing it using digital means. You know, I'm using a camera to look down on the page. And you know, like I'm capturing it on a live stream. So I have a record of the work from beginning to the current state. And like, so it's better than... There is something to be said about having undocumented progress, like just working in private. There is something very powerful about that when you're not archiving something, when you're just creating something and you're the only one who experiences it. I think that's really powerful too. But as far as like public documentation of like archiving your work, what I'm doing right now is something that never could have been done in the past. I'm utilizing technology to capture an analog medium. You wish you could draw like that? So could I. I wish I could draw like this. I'm working on it. Basically just, you know, I'm just every day just doing like little exercises. Like today I did this exercise. It's a skill that can be trained, and you just gotta show up. You can do it like in 9 minutes a day, actually. Like just training these little skills. And then I'm just basically just kind of, I'm freeform drawing right now. I'm just kind of drawing without any like goal in mind. I'm just kind of looking at what the paper wants. Like, what does the page want in this exact moment at this region? Like, what does the page want? And I have quite a long ways to go. I'm trying to become better as an artist. I'm mainly drawing for personal reasons, though. I'm mainly drawing for giving myself agency during this really tumultuous part of my life, where I'm in a waiting period where there's external agencies working on housing resources to get me into a better living situation and a healthier environment. But there's nothing I can do to make that happen faster. So drawing is something I can do that I can control. And I may not be the best artist, and maybe I never will be, but I'm gonna keep treating it like an ongoing process. I'm drawing for personal reasons. I'm drawing for like therapeutic reasons. I do want to improve. So I'm going to try to improve. I'm not just drawing with no goal in mind. I am going to treat it as if I want to become an expert. Who knows? Possibly even professional. That's not my goal, though. My goal is to just draw every day and try to get better. I think ironically that'll probably have the best progress. just trying, because like not focusing on the end result, just focusing on the process. Not trying so hard to reach some arbitrary goal. Just letting it happen, just doing the work. That's what you're going to have to do to become an expert. If you wanted to be a professional artist, you're going to have to do the work. Like nothing's going to change that. So just do the work. Focus on that. Do the exercises. Like just draw. Like just put pencil to paper and just let it happen. Allow ambiguity. Allow bad drawings. Like just get it out. Like let time pass. Just keep putting pencil to paper, or keep putting pen to paper, or brush to canvas, or whatever your medium is. Stylus to tablet. Like do whatever. Do something. What picture you have? I have no idea. This is just from my imagination. And I actually think I'm done for today. I have a meeting coming up, and I think we've been drawing for a while. We've been drawing for 2 hours. So I did 2 hours of drawing today. You know, I drew this little completely accurate Sistine Chapel, 100% accurate. I did circles and wireframes and stuff like that. And I did figure drawing to understand joint behavior and such like that. And I did some lines, and then I used the lines to freeform draw. I did a bunch of straight lines, and I kind of did them in foreshortening, just naturally. And then so I just kind of ended up like, what am I going to do with all these lines? And then I just started filling in what looked like the page needed. That's basically what I did. What does the page need? I think that's like the main question. Hey, I think today went pretty well. Thanks everybody for being here. I had a lot of fun. We spent 2 hours together, and we did things on pieces of paper. I think that's pretty good. That's time that I wasn't spent feeling miserable about myself. It was time I spent not hyperfixating on things I can't fix. It was time that I was regulated, that I was breathing, that I was, you know, keeping calm, and it was time that I was spending time with you guys. Thank you and have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Make sure to give my channel a subscribe. Be on the lookout for all my YouTube shorts. And let me know in the comments and stuff like what you want me to draw next. I'll try my best. Or give me any recommendations. Anything like that. Like, let's make this into a drawing community. But we will play World of Warcraft. I've been drawing a lot more recently. So, we will also make progress in World of Warcraft. So, playing the Burning Crusade. So, I have not given up on it. I'm collecting rested XP. So that when I go into the Blood Furnace, we're gonna get more XP. So I'm not wasting time. I'm letting the XP grow larger. I'm getting rested XP, okay? So when we do dungeons, we're gonna get all the XP back. I'm trying to be smart about my leveling process. Trying to also like fit drawing into it, into my day. I feel like drawing is very meaningful, and so I'm gonna do it. And I'm not gonna let all these conversations about AI change that. Like I'm still gonna draw. I'm not gonna let AI say, oh, what's the point of drawing? There's more to drawing than making some finished product and making money off of it. Like drawing is personal, it's therapeutic, it's meaningful, it's human. And I feel like we should never forget that that's what art is and always has been. Anyway, see ya.